A very good morning, children. So today we are going to see the marine ecosystem. In the last lesson and all, we have learned about the desert ecosystem, right? So now we are going to deal with the marine ecosystem. So already we have seen that when you come to the aquatic ecosystem, we have seen that there are two different kinds of aquatic ecosystems. One is the marine, second one is the freshwater ecosystem. So these are the two different types of ecosystems which you can find in the water, especially aquatic in the sense itself. The word meaning is the water. So here today we are going to deal with the marine ecosystem. So what are the different adaptations which are taken up by the animals which are living in the marine ecosystem? That is what we are going to discuss now. So when you come to the marine ecosystem, what is the marine ecosystem? What water bodies comes under it? One is the sea which comes under it, and second one is the ocean which comes under it. So seas and oceans, these two, especially when you come to these oceans and all, they cover large area on the earth, isn't it? They cover a very large area which is on the earth, right? So seas and oceans, the basic point is that they are salt water, right? They have salinity in the water, that is salt content in the water. So salt content in the water is around 3.5%, whereas in the fresh water it is only some 1.4%. But whereas if you take the salt water and all, like sea water, ocean water, the salt content is about 3.5%. So which makes the water extremely salty. It makes the water extremely salty in such a way that you cannot drink that water. So now just assume that animals which are living in that water, so they have to adapt their body in many ways so that they can cope up the conditions which are there in that particular water, that is in the marine water. It is said that over 2000 million years ago, the life has started on the earth. The life started on the earth in such a way that they started evolving, right? So basically the organisms, they are not formed like what we are seeing now. So lion did not form on the earth, tiger did not form on the earth, according to science I'm talking. So all these organisms did not directly evolve on the earth. So it has taken some time for all these animals to evolve and also to arise from some particular thing here. So now what is that we are going to see now? So here if you see our protoplasm, now already we have learned about the protoplasm. What is protoplasm here? Whatever the water content which you take in the cell, whatever the water content which is there in the cell, that is called as the protoplasm. Protoplasm is the jelly substance where all the organelles are located. So this protoplasm is said to be it has a great resemblance. Now I'm talking about human protoplasm, I'm talking about monkeys protoplasm, I'm talking about the lions and tigers protoplasm. So the protoplasm which is present in these animals, it has a very great resemblance to the protoplasm which you found in the water bodies, which you found in the sea and also especially in the ocean waters and all. So what what of the protoplasm which is present in the sea water, the same kind of protoplasm is now present in all the organisms which are living in the on the earth. So there is a great resemblance in between the protoplasm of the animals and also protoplasm which is in the sea water. So it is also said that the oceanic currents which are usually present in the sea water are still existing in the human beings, still existing in all the other animals. So that is how they have come to a conclusion that protoplasm is very much same in the living organisms. Like they say that the same organ which were already there in the seawater, they started coming out. And some of them came onto the land, adapted to that particular situation, and all they have become the land animals. The animals which did not come, they adapted themselves so that they can stay in this particular water, and they became the aquatic animals or the marine animals. And some of them, they started living in the surface areas of the sea water, some of them started living in the deeper levels of the sea water, the ocean water. So that is how they all they adapted themselves to that particular environment. So some of them live in a very very deep parts of the sea. Some of them live on the upper surface areas of the sea water. Some where they will stay in the middle of the ocean or the sea water. So that is how they all adapted themselves to suit their so that their body will suit to that particular environment. So that is how, okay, that is how the animals have emerged on the earth. Already we have seen that ocean cover a very very large area on the earth, isn't it? Ocean covers the very very large area on the earth. So that means most of the water, most of the water which you see is of the 5 great oceans, isn't it? So now it becomes very very tough for the scientists to that means they have the very very limited scope. They have very very limited scope, so that they cannot directly go and search whatever there is in the ocean water. And even moreover, ocean water is also very very deep. That is 7,000 meters some deep. So that's how they could not go into that particular areas, and they could not reach those areas and study the animals over there. And also moreover, the marine life also has a greater variation. You can see here the animals which are living in the water, like especially in the marine water, they have a great variation. That means there are a lot of changes in them, because see, whatever the changes which we see, there are three different causes. One is the salinity. One is the salinity, that is the salt content. The animals which are able to only cope up with the salt content in the water, they can stay in this water. And also light, there's light variation, because the whole sea water will not get the complete light. For example, if the light is falling here, only up to this particular area the light is penetrating. But whereas here there will be no light. That means the organisms which are living in these areas, they even though get very very less amount of the light, also they have to survive. And there are some very very deeper areas where there is no light at all. It is absolutely completely dark, and that means the animals also has to survive even in that extreme darkness. So basically, the animals which are living in the marine water and all, they have to withstand 3 conditions. One is light, right? That is what we have discussed. One is salinity, that is the salt content, and third one is the temperature. If you see here, the ocean water are usually cold. Okay, they are very cold, and as you go deeper into the water, what happens is the temperature completely decreases, and there is a point where the temperature is extremely cold. The animals which are living in that place has to again adapt to the situations where they can cope up with the cold also. So that is the they have to adapt to the temperatures, they have to adapt to the salinity, they have to adapt to the light also. And moreover, apart from all these things, especially when you come to the salt content, as the salt content is very very extreme, the animals it is actually supporting the animals like whales and the squids. Because of the salt content, they are able to survive. And this is one of the thing. And now the next one is the pressure. For every 10 meters, 1 atmosphere pressure will increase. 1 atmosphere pressure will increase. Just assume that you just turn on your tap and keep your hand under the tap. So basically, if the pressure is very high, your hand will go down. That shows that the water has some pressure. It is making your hand go down. The same way, just assume that kind of pressure is there in the water. When you throw something in the water, it immediately comes back, isn't it? So I'm talking about the upper layers. And if you go that deep into the water, into the oceans and seas, the pressure will increase like anything. The pressure will be, I don't know, just for only 10 meters, 1 atmosphere pressure will increase. And that means if you go to 100 meters, there is 10 atmosphere of pressure. If you go to 200 meters, there is 20 atmosphere pressure. So like this, the pressure will go on increasing when you go deeper into the water. That means even the animals which are living in the marine ecosystem has to withstand the pressure, or they will be washed away. So how they will withstand the pressure, that is what we are going to see now. So how they withstand the pressure and all, that is what we are going to see in the next topic, which is the secrets of swimming. Secrets of swimming. So here already we know that swimming is a fundamental activity of all the swimming is the fundamental activity of all the organisms which are living in the water. That means each and every organism which is living in the water has to withstand the pressure, and they have to swim in the other direction. So if they have, if the pressure is, water is coming with the pressure in this direction, if the fishes or the any organism, if they have to swim in this direction, so they have to thrive the pressure, and they have to withstand the pressure, and they have to go in the other direction. So how all the animals will do this kind of thing, that is what we are going to study in this particular topic. So here there are many animals, like they are more they are air breathing. That means they will breathe the air from the atmosphere. And there are organisms which are surface dwellers. That means they live on the surface of the water, right? This is the surface, and all these which dwell here, which reside here, which stay here, are the surface dwellers. So here you can see that there are animals which are air breathing, and also there are animals which are surface dwellers. So they live, and whereas the pressure which is over there when compared to the deeper areas will be a bit less. And next, coming to the seals. Seals, they are the animals which can even dive for a mile. They can go at least a mile into the deep water. They can directly dive into the deep waters like this. And there are the whales which are called as the sperm whales, and they go much deeper into the water, So how they are able to do all these things? Instead of directly fighting with the pressure, so instead of fighting with the pressure, what they do is they collapse their lungs. Whatever the air which is there in the in the lungs and all, they give the air out. So when they give like that, what happens here is when they collapse their complete lungs, so whatever the oxygen which is there in the lungs, whatever the oxygen which is present in the body, so in the lungs there will be carbon dioxide that will be given out, right? And their body, they will fill their body with the lungs with the oxygen. And when they collapse their lungs and all, there will be no air in the lungs. So at that time they become more and more heavier than the water. So when there is no air in their body, what happens? Their body will become more heavier than the water. So when the body becomes heavier than the water, what happens here? Now they start slowly sinking into the water. So now when they sink into the water, then when they go into the deeper areas of the water, then a question comes out that how these animals are getting the oxygen, how they are able to get the oxygen. So they are able to get the oxygen because of the muscles. Whatever the muscles they have in their body, they will have very good amount of oxygen which is present in them. The higher concentration of oxygen is usually present in the muscles. So whenever they go into deep waters and all, they collapse and they start slowly sinking into the water like this. They need not they need not flip their flippers also. They need not use their fins to go into the water. So just simply they will sink their bodies because it becomes heavier than the water. It slowly sinks into the water. So they need not use any kind of energy here. Only they have to use energy when they come out. When they come out slowly, they will be going with the pressure of the water. So and also they will just sink and they will move forward with the pressure of the water. Basically here we have to understand one thing, that whatever the pressure, whatever the oxygen which is there in the muscles will be used by the organism, so that they can get the required amount of oxygen which is when it is under the water. So muscles will have the higher concentration of the oxygen here. Okay, when lungs collapse, they get heavier than the water, they go inside, and there is no need of flipping of flippers or whatever it is. Simply what they will do is they will go inside and they can swim, and also they can they can travel in the deep waters, and whenever they are coming out, they will utilize the oxygen, and by the time the oxygen completes, they will come onto the surface of the water. So that is how these animals, especially like the whales, the seals, and all these organisms, squids and all, they will utilize the collapsing of the lungs, adaptation, which is like collapsing of the lungs, so that they can go deep into the water without wasting any kind of energy. So that is how, without using any kind of oxygen also. So this is how you can say they are able to withstand the high pressures. And there are a lot many things to study. Okay, so that is all what we are going to see in the next topic. Until then, see you all. Have a great day. God bless you. And today's homework is write the secrets of swimming. Write the secrets of swimming and post in the group. Okay, children. So see you all. Have a great day. God bless you.